Welcome back, guys. We got a whole lot more questions, some really solid questions to answer on the topic of homosexuality and how the church should respond. How would Calvary respond? And because this is some of the leadership, not all of it, but much of the leadership of Calvary, you guys have the authority to answer this question. How would Calvary Baptist Church respond to the fact that some people have personally been in churches that have openly said, as a church, homosexuals are not welcome here? Calvary, how would you respond?
Sadness.
We're lost for words. That's what we're saying right now.
I feel as though I would be as Jesus with the money changers. I would to say that they're not welcome is we're all sinners. I mean, we need Jesus. Why? So yeah, that they are welcome. They are very welcome. Anyone who is seeking for Christ is welcome at Calvary.
Well, I think the question is, how would we respond to, I don't know that this is what they're asking, but I think the question is, how would Calvary respond to those pastors in those churches?
With outrage.
Very carefully. I don't want to
Look,
sin in my response.
We're trying not to be flippant here. I'm trying not to be flippant here. I would say to that pastor, you are absolutely unequivocally wrong. And I don't want to be anywhere near you when you stand before God in heaven. That's what I would say to that pastor. Would a homosexual person be loved and accepted at Calvary? First question. I personally see no difference between their sin and anyone else having premarital sex. In other words, lumping all sexual sin together. But the first question is, would a practicing homosexual be loved and accepted at Calvary? As you answer this question, guys, be very precise by the way that you answer this question when it says loved and accepted.
Yeah, that's what makes that hard. I would hope they would be loved at Calvary. I really hope they would. I would also hope that Calvary is becoming a very safe place for sinners and a very dangerous place for sin.
Mm-hmm. That's a good statement right there, Michael.
And so if that person comes to Calvary, I hope Calvary is the kind of place where they're loved. I hope Calvary is also the kind of place where they're boldly spoken to about their sin and our sin and shown what the gospel means in the context of their actual life. And so it's a hard question to give a simple answer to because of the word accepted. Because what do you mean? Do you mean is the person accepted? Is their action accepted? I don't think we would accept their actions because we don't want to accept any kind of sin. Right. But that person would be welcome to be with us here and to be loved. Yeah.
And to add to this, I agree completely. If you mean by accepted, would we accept them as an open, practicing homosexual and kind of endorse that? I'm sorry, we can't do that. Would we accept you as a homosexual who's currently struggling with sexual sin and is looking for somebody to help them find the truth? Of course we're going to do that. But we're not going to minimize the sin either. It depends on what you mean by the word accepted. That's a really, really difficult question for us to answer if I don't know what you mean by the word accepted.
Yeah. I agree. I would say, we would hopefully accept them as we would accept any, sinner seeking the grace of God. If by accepted, that's a question of would we accept them as a member? Well, we wouldn't accept anyone who we know is practicing any sexual sin, including, premarital sex.
The myriad of other sexual sins that people are practicing in every church in America. At school, this is the next question. I don't even know if this is a question. It looks more like a statement, but maybe there's a question here. At school, many people that I know are some form of homosexual. Could one homosexual person influence another individual to rethink their lifestyle? I don't understand the question at all. So maybe one of you guys could figure out what they're asking and answer something.
I wonder if that question is not coming from some of the statistics that you used on Sunday, talking about young people being asked about their sexuality, and if the seemingly alarming large percentage of people that would say they are in some way homosexual is due to influence of other people in their sphere of influence being homosexual, and that becoming more accepted, and so it's influencing. Basically, can my sin rub off on you and make you now that kind of sin? Like, now, if there is someone who is homosexual and I'm around them too much, am I in danger of becoming homosexual because I'm around them?
Yeah, 100%. The answer to your question is yes, if that's the question you're asking. I don't know if that's what you're asking. Yes, 100%. If you hang out with crackheads and you are all the time around crackheads, don't be surprised if you become a crackhead. If you're hanging around people that are homosexual, practicing homosexual, open about their homosexual, you're always around that. Don't be surprised if you start practicing homosexuality too, if that's what you mean by that question. Certainly, bad character corrupts good. What is it? What's the scripture?
Bad company.
Bad, thank you.
Correct, good morals.
Bad company corrupts good character, I think is the way
morals.
Morals, thank you.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. So, if that's what, I'm not sure that's what you're asking, but that's what you're asking. Yes, danger, Will Robbins, yes, that can happen. Since we are born into sin, can someone be born with this stronghold?
Yes. Yeah. I think we've kind of alluded to this several times. I think someone can be born.
Okay, so
I think someone can be born with a.
They used an interesting word.
Hold on. The problem with this question, if you would have used a different word to end this question, I probably would answer the exact same way everybody else has answered. But you said the word stronghold, and that just changed the question. Because stronghold implies I have worked and failed and fallen into this thing. And being born into a stronghold is really a challenge theologically for me to get to.
Because a stronghold means that
you resisted, but
you're trying to exit out of it, but it's pulling you in. That by definition not possible at birth because you haven't been doing it. So
a crack baby can be born with crack, already an inclination towards crack, but a crack baby doesn't necessarily have a stronghold because they haven't given in to that. Yeah.
So if you're using stronghold in the way that most people would use the word stronghold, then you can't be born with it. But probably what I think they're actually asking is that can you be born with this sin or sin pattern or whatever you're going to call it?
And if that's the case, then
we would
already
answer
answered that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey guys, you've asked some great questions on the subject of homosexuality and how should the church respond to it. Don't go anywhere. Check out this next video and we'll answer some more of your questions.